Hello, boys and girls. Welcome to episode 29 of the Ready Up Gaming Podcast, a podcast about all things gaming. This week, myself and the ball beater bruiser, Bobby Boucher, covering more thoughts on Microsoft's Activision deal, what we've been playing, as well as some rumours and news throughout the week. Another quiet week, July drought. So if it's your first time listening to the podcast, like and subscribe. Basically, it's a very relaxed podcast. And if you have any questions, we'll give you the email at the end to send them in. Other than that, Bobby, have you still not taken the Viagra?
No, I haven't.
Okay.
No,
I know you mentioned it last night, but you never know what could happen in the night.
Yeah, I know. I'm just kind of put off it after what she said about the whole getting an injection inside it. If something
Tell
goes
the
wrong.
listeners, did you tell them last week? Did we tell anyone last week about your hypothesis? Or your Demi's hypothesis?
I can't remember, but pretty much she watched a lot of that, what do you call it, A&E stuff. You like all that shit too, don't you? Like the all real life stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And basically she says that if it doesn't go down, you have to go in and get an injection, like in the head. So that's kind of
In the head.
It scared me a wee bit.
I know someone who had to get a camera up the middle eye.
Oh, Jesus.
And this is funny. This is coming to this chat here. Yeah, so he said it was the worst. Not a camera. I don't know what it was. Maybe a wee tiny microscopic camera. He says, if you're ever getting that, asked to get that done, take death instead. He says, see, after trying to pee and all, it was
I would say
terrible.
So. I would say.
Do you ever get like soap in the eye and you're trying to piss?
And right, I thought you meant the normalizer. I was going to be like, that doesn't make sense.
No, the jab.
No, I just do you remember that what do you call that shower gel, the tea tree one?
Yeah,
I think everybody discovered what that does down there. It's just
I had
stinging sensation.
See, things happen for a reason because I had a shower earlier right before we came on, and I used too much shower gel, and I had a stingy pee after, and it was so stingy. I was like, "How? What am I gonna do?" And I get cold water and constantly like kind of do the tip, and I was like, "Is it weird if I piss in my bathroom sink?" And I was like, is it weird? And I googled it, and it's a thing. Like, it's not that I'm going to start. I think it would stink out the room eventually. But
I would say so. I think Lindsay would fucking cut it off if she caught you doing that.
I do like a bidet though. Do you ever use a bidet on holiday?
No, I've never actually used one, but I know what they are obviously, but I've never used one. And it just makes so much more sense rather than toilet paper.
I thought you'd be against it because you'd be like, "Oh, it makes you gay."
Well, no, it depends on the stream. Like if it was like a solid stream, then it could be.
What do you mean a solid stream? What's the opposite?
If it was powerful enough to be like near enough solid water going up, then yeah.
Then it's gay or it's not gay?
Well, it could be, because there could be pleasure in it.
If
it's solid enough, you start bouncing something down on it.
No, you're not going to bounce something down the stream, but I'm going to make it gay at it. Fucking brown seepage.
Oh, dirty.
Yeah. So you've had a bit of a rough week, haven't you, in terms of playing games all throughout the week? So I'm going to tell anyone because Bobby is a victim of. He doesn't play anything. Kinda. You'll play Fortnite and like play something for the podcast.
It's these weeks that kind of happen where you just don't know what to play and you end up just playing a load of crap. Or playing.
You do what I do. Yeah, I played honestly. I think I said the other day about 10 games.
Yeah, that's crazy.
10 different games, and you end up playing kind of nothing. So,
just we're in that kind of run at the minute. There's nothing new coming out. We're kind of everything was new constantly there from pretty much the start of the year. We always had something to kind of look forward to, and then now with nothing until August here.
Yeah, like I put on Herc's Adventures, and then I put on Fallout 5, then I put on Patapon, and then I put on some other PS1 kind of classics, Toy Story 3, and it's like I'm just looking for something. It's like so weird mood at the moment anyway, but a few games I want to talk about anyway.
Yeah.
Have you watched anything good? What's been on the television?
Nothing. No
Fuck
TV.
Me, Bobby.
I don't watch TV.
What do you do at night time?
I usually, the past while it's just been sticking the console on and just looking at it and no one to play.
My fucking God.
One of them ones. No, I don't really watch TV. I've watched the other week. I watched season 2 of The Witcher. The first half of season 3 is out, but the other half doesn't come out till the end of the month. So I'm kind of just waiting for that and then just binge it all in one go. And then I'm going to move on to maybe Game of Thrones. I don't know.
Oh, mate, Game of Thrones. I wish I knew there was a show out there, and it's like if you watch this now, you will love it. But I know it's finding it is the fucking hardest thing ever. Oh, it's melting.
That's what the plan is anyway. But like I said, I don't really watch watch TV at all.
Fucking hell.
Mm-hmm.
What do you do? Like, just sit there? That's why
I
you
know, I go to work and come home, go to the gym, short dinner. Then I don't know. I usually play something.
riveting, and you don't read or anything.
No, do a fuck.
You go to the gym. That's about it. That's your hobby, isn't it?
Yeah, that's pretty much it. And then obviously football now on Monday night.
Well, a fella in work said to me he started doing. There's a rock climbing gym in Belfast. It's like bouldering, and there's different like gradients. So green would be easy, and so on. And I would love the idea of it, but you know, mate, like I'm 16 stone. If I got one of those things and fall, I'm fucked, and I will
Just
fall.
climbing, like just the rock climbing things that you would say.
Yeah, like the handles and all, like you know, big walls, and you just climb them. But you don't have like harnessed in and all. But it's like I was
What
watching
do you
videos on
fall on?
YouTube. Mats.
Oh right. Oh, that's all right. The whole map would just fucking collapse down if you fell on it.
Ah, fuck. But I said to him I would go, but I would make it that I would have to be like 12 stone, 13 stone before. I just wouldn't risk it. But even saying that, there's
that's tough for you though, because you're tall. Like, so you need to kind of look at that too.
Jack's taller than me, and he struggles with it. Like he's about 14, but
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like,
not
and he's skinny. Like, he's not fat or anything.
well, my height I should be 12 and a half. Like it's on the charts. But
Oh, fuck me. That's if you want to be like a super skinny man. Which, let's be honest, not
I would
gonna
have
happen.
it.
It's like it's too hard.
Well, that run, 1,000 calories on that run alone today.
The local legend of the Pleasantown Road. I seen that. I pissed myself laughing.
I didn't even notice it until you said. I've had it before. You have to like do so you run this certain road, and if you do it so many times, you get segment like winners. So I'm the local legend.
So if anyone's watching from like the Gunavy Crumlin area, you know, you might spot the local legend anywhere between
people are
6
whispering,
and
walk
9
past.
9 a.m.
Yeah. Yeah, so if I got my diet right, I could probably get down, but it's tough. I had a bad weekend. Pizzas, chippies.
That sounds like a good weekend to me.
Stomach though, you get the bad shades and all. Stomach, bad cramps and all.
That's because if you're not eating it as much often, like, it will do that too.
Well, let's move on. Stop your dirty chat, Bobby.
Turn you on.
Okay. Right, so let's get into it. Bobby is a happy fucking chappy this week. He's went full Xbot. He's literally took the PlayStation right off, closed the PlayStation cupboard for the week, and turned around to his other cupboard and opened the Xbox one. Bobby, I'm letting you take it away as the Xbox fanboy that you are. I'm joking. Take it away. Get everyone up to speed on what's happening with the FTC court case, which I'm sure everyone knows about anyway. But get us a Bobby impressions and let us know your thoughts and your feelings.
So I put it down in bullet points just to make it a wee bit easier. So pretty much the judge ruled in Microsoft's favor there at the start of the week against the FTC, because that's what we're kind of waiting on. Straight after, within like an hour, the CMA, who they blocked the deal a while ago, back in May, I think it was. They agreed to enter negotiations with Microsoft over the ABK deals, like pretty much straight away within an hour.
It's a UK body, isn't it? The CMA?
Yeah, that's UK. So they're the only ones pretty much that's actually blocked it, apart from the FTC have sued to block it. And they blocked it over cloud. So an hour after the judge ruled in Microsoft's favor, they were like, "Okay, right, we'll talk to you and sort this out," because they look like dicks if they don't sort it out. Like, and the UK's left, and you know they look like cocks already because of this whole Brexit thing. So, and the EU approved it, and then they don't. So it's kind of losing a lot of business, like too, because Microsoft could pull out a lot of stuff over it if they really wanted to. So the FTC appealed the judge's decision, and then was it 2 days ago maybe the judge denied the appeal decision. So that's that out the window. So pretty much
it's true.
So the judge's decision to deny the motion on the FTC's preliminary injunction was due to many factors, with one of the main reasons being Call of Duty. Pretty much says largest tech, blah blah blah. Not gonna read all that. Anyway, so they can close now before July 18th deadline. If they don't, ABK can actually pull out, and Microsoft had to pay $3 billion.
Well, here's a thought for you, right? If they don't close it in time, do you think Activision would pull out?
I don't think so. I think it's done and dusted now, pretty much. Like everybody's expecting them here to close on Monday, which is tomorrow.
17th.
Yeah. So and they've taken ABK out of some like stock market thing. So like,
Hmm.
and that was the other day they done that there. So I think
Oh yeah.
I think it's pretty much going to happen tomorrow. But they're going to close it. So after they close it, the FTC still have their court date in August because they're suing to block it, even though it'll already went through by then. So if that goes the FTC's way, which it's probably not going to, then they have to undo the deal,
Hmm.
which is insane. But it probably won't go that way anyway, judging by everything else. And then there's rumors that Microsoft might sell some of the cloud rights in the UK to kind of appease the CMA, and EE is the likely candidate for it.
EE. Oh, for fuck's
Yeah.
sake.
So
I just,
they do quite a lot of deals with Game Pass and
yeah,
stuff at the
they
minute.
do.
So they're
In
maybe the
general,
likely candidate to actually take over, and I think their network's actually really good as well. So it makes
they're
sense for the
very
cloud.
England centric. EE over in Northern Ireland, where we're from. Because I remember obviously working in a game, we used to sell phones, and if they were locked to EE, they were they'd be sitting for weeks, like
Mm-hmm.
months.
They're
They were
they're all
dead,
right.
like
Are they
couldn't
all
sell.
right now? Like, because I think they've got like fucking 5G in all most places and
EE
stuff.
was
But
orange, wasn't it? It was.
I think it was Orange and someone
It wasn't
else.
Talk Talk. Talk Talk was O2.
Yeah, Orange and someone else, and then they kind of merged into EE, or
Gift
maybe it
Gas
was
was
Orange and
O2.
EE or something like that. I can't remember.
Fuck me.
But
Well,
that's pretty much. It looks like it's done and dusted. Should be done and dusted. Come tomorrow, but then
hopefully, so we don't have to cover it, but then we'll just get the rewards. So look, I know I'm kind of like, in the grand scheme of things, it's actually now making me kind of excited just for the fact that I'm playing a lot of Gabriel Knight games, and I was like, oh, why haven't they done anything else? And well, the company that owns the IP is Sierra, who, funny enough, got bought by Activision. So
there's a lot of
Activision,
there's a lot
yeah.
of IP in the backlog that Activision have that Microsoft can
So
play with.
the woman Jane Jensen she made the Gabriel Knight games, was asked this year about like, what are you doing with IP? And she says, look, we actually when we made the original game in 2014. Activision owned the IP and they were supporting us, but pulled out, and we had to cover the cost. So obviously, what we're hoping is with Microsoft ban Activision Blizzard, the benefit there would be hopefully they're going to do something with IP. So email Microsoft when it goes through and just tell them you're excited for it, and hopefully they can work with it. So if it means stuff like that,
Yeah,
happy days. And hopefully, and to be fair, if there's any company I would actually be more optimistic that would do something, it probably would be Microsoft. To be fair, I don't think if you give it to Sony, they'd fucking touch it. They're cunts. But
no. Because at the end of the day, like Microsoft's just trying to grow content for Game Pass.
yeah,
So the more
it's
they
like
have in it, the better. Like the games that actually Phil mentioned at the start when they were banning them was like so Tony Hawk, Guitar
did he
Hero was even
mention?
mentioned. Yeah, Tony Hawk was
Hey,
mentioned.
that's what
Hexen,
I want.
which
I
he
never played
was.
Hexen.
I never played Hexen, but he wore the Hexen T-shirt at the Xbox showcase. So obviously that might already be in. There's rumors that that's already in the works.
The problem I have with Guitar Hero, it's the music license. It's a bollock.
Yeah.
So it's like they'd have to relicense all that old music. That's why it's not on back compat or anything. You see with the Tony Hawk
But this could
remaster?
just mean this could be new Guitar Hero though. That's the
That's what I
thing.
mean. Yeah, new
Yeah.
one. But then no one bought the Guitar Hero Live in 2015. It was the fucking that and Rock
Ah,
Band
but
came out again and failed.
Activision milked it like they do about everything. Skylanders and all Phil even mentioned, and it was milked.
Uh,
They
yeah, it
just
was
kind of they
milk.
just milk the fuck out of it.
Were you a
Like,
Guitar Hero fan, Bobby? Did you ever try it?
yeah, I loved it.
Oh, that was brilliant.
Used to play
That
it
drums and all.
at Steve's house. He would have had the guitars and used to play it all the time. Like it was class. Was it
Uh,
ever any like really good at it? No.
See, Steve gave me the drums, and then I ended up
Mhm.
being good at the drums on Guitar Hero and bought a drum kit. And it did translate to a certain degree, like, yeah, you know
Yeah,
what I
it's
mean?
good fun. Like it's
Yeah.
good. It's good. Just good crack. Like
I really like rhythm games. I was actually
um,
really into that, but
Tony
so
Hawk
it's
3 and 4 was actually in the
that was canned,
works,
wasn't it?
and it was canned. So stuff like that there, like Microsoft aren't going to can that kind of stuff. They're going to bring that back. I prefer Game
Tony
Pass
Hawk's
content.
Underground.
Yep.
See if you give me Underground, I would be a happy lady.
I,
It's
I
fucking
I
superb.
remember first playing that there and just being able to get off your skateboard and all and walk about. It was fucking unbelievable.
There's a wee cunt Eric who's your mate, and then he turns on you. And then
Oh,
Tony
so
Hawk's
good.
Underground 2 had the Jackass guys.
Yeah.
So I don't know what way you do that, because this is where it gets tricky with them, because they're real people. So you'd have to relicense their likeness then? I see this is where it gets a bit messy. Tony Hawk's always been difficult with that because of real life music and stuff that they're using. Obviously, like real games probably use real music, but they just have
Yeah.
so much different ones going on.
You're
But
interesting. Like that's why I was saying to Kieran maybe yesterday. Like it's actually insane that they're about to own Call of Duty. Like Xbox is about to own them.
Yeah,
Like when you think about it, just like it's fucking mental. Yes, it's still going to be everywhere, but is it going to be on PS6?
Who knows?
Because Jim Ryan says doesn't want to give them the development kit. That's going to stop it, and that's what the kind of was in the court case as well. Is like as long as Microsoft or Sony allow it, Call of Duty will be on it. But if they do something like that, they're not going to get it. Day and date anyway.
Well, while we're talking about Call of Duty, you mentioned, so obviously a few of them went on sale the other day.
Mm-hmm.
And the servers, they had done something. What was wrong with the servers before?
I think they were just off.
Were they off? I don't think they were.
Maybe there was something to do. There was a lot of hackers on it on every server you went on.
I know there was
hacker
hackers.
Server, so it was something maybe something like that there, and then they've maybe just opened the whole load more up or something like that.
Because there's a PlayStation YouTuber I watch called Mystic, and every year he does, PSN in 2021, 2022, and so on, and he always does Call of Duties. So they are up, and there is people playing them. But like I bought Black Ops yesterday, and finding a match was difficult. And as soon as Logan was playing, I was like, you know what? It's probably just you would need to remake the game, I'd say, in this day and age, or at least do a 4K 120 patch would be nice, and you probably will get that.
The thing is, like a lot of the maps and stuff have already been put into the newer Call of Duties.
Yeah,
a lot of the fan favorites and stuff like that. But that's why I said to you last night when you were like, "There's only 4,000 people on." I was like, "Well, chances are they went on," but like, no, that's actually, this isn't how I remember it, and went off it. After
I mentioned in the chat yesterday, how would it be good? How good would it be like a Black Ops collection? It's 1, 2, 3, and 4 all in the one, kind of like a Master Chief collection.
Yeah,
or they did it with like fucking Modern Warfare. Oh fuck zombies! I know you love zombies.
See, the one thing I actually want Xbox to do is to let Treyarch make just a zombie game.
Yeah,
zombies. Just put the old maps in, add new maps every so often, and just make it a platform, like a continuous platform, kind of like Warzone. The way it kind of just continues. Just give me zombies and constantly add to it, because like there's a big audience for zombies. I know you're not really into it. Like there's a learning curve and things like that. There it is. Tough.
I think I'll be on it with a keyboard. I'm saying keyboard mouse would be into it, but I actually like Call of Duty on the controller, so I don't even know. I think it's maybe the ones that we were playing. I don't know.
I don't know what it is. It's hard to grasp, but once you actually get into it, because it's a lot of it's about movement. Like a lot of the zombie maps are just about, it's all about your movement and how you move. If you move one kind of foot out of place, and you could be fucked, because you need to get them in like a train and stuff like that. There, so it's called, where you get them all in a row, and you're kind of walking about. And if you lose your bearings for a second, you could be fucked.
So, how hands-on do you think Microsoft's going to be with Activision?
Not very. At the start, anyway. I think I'd say the first year or so, they're going to be very hands off.
Whose job is it in Xbox?
They all report to Phil.
Games?
So
Phil oversees all the game quality.
Phil is like, he's the head of Microsoft Gaming. You have Pete Hines. Is it Pete Hines? No, Matt Booty. Sorry. So Matt Booty is the Xbox Game Studios one. So he's the overseer of Xbox Game Studios, but like Bethesda aren't in that.
Yeah.
If you know what I mean. So like Phil's the overseer of them all, and Activision will report to him. But I think they need someone to kind of be like an overseer of Activision, if you know what I mean. Someone like Matt, because obviously Matt Booty can't do it all, because there's so many now once you bring these boys in.
Well, there was a story of Shuhei over Sony when God of War was shown them like 2 years or a year prior. He was like, "This is not good." Did you hear that story?
I think it did. Yeah, I think it did.
He wasn't. He said it wasn't good. So, when do we start seeing the Game Pass mergers? Start getting the CODs on Game Pass? What date?
After the deal was kind of put through for Bethesda,
it
was like 3 days after.
Fuck.
So, I think they will put in, as soon as it's done, I think within maybe a week or two at most, everything that they can put in, they will. The likes of the newer Call of Duties. If Sony have an agreement with their agreement runs out this year for Call of Duty. If Sony have an agreement that it can't go on Game Pass, it'll not be there, obviously, because Microsoft do kind of honor whatever agreements that they have. Same as they've done with Deathloop and stuff like that. So they'll honor whatever they have, and then I would say next year we'll get our first day and date Call of Duty.
Do we get Diablo on Game Pass next month?
That would be nuts, wouldn't it?
I think you will.
I
I
couldn't
think it's
see it
almost like
because
kick to the teeth too soon.
I don't think I think we maybe get the 2 and 3.
Yeah,
I think they
like
maybe
you might get
wait
season pass.
a few months for 4, but it will be in at some point.
As Kieran was saying, the XCast, supposedly your man that you love, Paris, was talking about maybe we'll get the WoW sub on it. I don't know if you would get that
I don't think you will. I don't think it makes sense.
because if you think about Elder Scrolls Online, obviously you still get your extra. You have to pay for. You can pay for your sub for that, can't you? Where you get the DLC and shit.
Yeah.
It won't be like then WoW's just not going to make any money essentially, apart from the cosmetic shop, which I don't know how big it is on WoW. But it's a bit weird.
Yeah, I don't think. I think maybe at most you'll get a maybe discounted price if you have Game Pass.
They're really going to start diluting their profit massively as well, because it's kind of catch 22, isn't it? Like, because obviously they brand more studios that you're kind of
They
ruining
had
the revenue.
before Activision. They had like 150 billion in cash that they need to spend
Right.
on Xbox. It's sitting there in cash and they need to spend it because of inflation and stuff like that. They need to get rid of it. So, and that's
Maybe they'll
half
give
of
me
it.
trying to give me a mill.
Wouldn't it be nice just to see that fucking 60 billion you have left over after Activision? Can you just give me like just 1 million, please?
Lovely.
So their spending's not done, obviously. Like they're going to continue to spend after this. They're going to continue to strengthen and stuff like that. I think they should focus on more studios rather than actual publishers. But
You know, the PC Game Pass is good. I was having a look at that. Obviously, I was playing a few things on it as well. It's kind of good to have.
a lot of people give off about that app. I've never had any issues with it.
No issues at all. People are weird, mate. People love Steam and hate everything else, which I get because having EA launcher in your Ubisoft Ubiplay and then Epic, it's all a bit of a melt having all these different launchers.
Yeah.
I don't mind Steam and Xbox. Like I actually don't mind Xbox
Yeah,
at
I
all.
think the Xbox One's great. I
Yeah,
don't
it's
know
fine.
how
I'm not
so
having a
many people
problem.
give off about it and say it's like horrible, but I've never had a bad experience with it at all.
I prefer Steam over everything, but I would say Xbox is fine. I don't have any issues.
Yeah.
BattleNet's grand as well, but that's
Yeah,
obviously.
which
I wonder
Microsoft's
what
going
way
to
it
own.
works. Yeah, I wonder what way they're going to do with BattleNet.
I don't think they'll get rid of it. I know they're getting rid of the Bethesda launcher, but it wasn't good. Whereas
That's
BattleNet, a lot of
yeah.
people are quite high on BattleNet and like it, but
Yeah.
they'll probably just link it the same way that EA and all's like the Xbox app now if you've Game Pass.
What's going to probably happen is the day I sell my Xbox, I'll announce a WoW console.
Well, Jez Gordon was talking about that in the Xbox too. He doesn't think it'll come, and
WoW console?
he thinks it's technically just impossible with the tech it's based on. So he thinks if anything, it'll be a different WoW, like a WoW 2 or something like that, where it launches on console and on PC. He just thinks technically it can't be done, but
How? I don't know. Well, it
I
is
don't
obviously
know.
all
He knows more than me, like, so I don't even want to try and argue it, but I don't
right.
know. Maybe it's just whatever way it's whatever software or whatever it's built on and things like that. I don't know, but it might.
Okay.
That's just how
We'll
that's
see.
kind of
Time will
opinion on it.
tell.
Wouldn't complain about it WoW 2 though.
Fuck, be weird.
Looking a lot better and crisper. Built, from the ground for a console and PC.
They need to do something about it. Well, I say they need to do something. They don't really need to, but like have WoW Classic going, which
I think it's money on the table, like not bringing out the Xbox.
see what happened with RuneScape. RuneScape was massive back in the day, and they brought out RuneScape 3, and that was maybe in 2011, and the community went nuts. And then in 2014, it goes, right, what we're going to do is we're going to bring something called Old School RuneScape, and it's all the servers from 2006. I mean, that's like one of the most, but even to this day, one of the most popular MMOs. But what to do is every update has to be voted on by the community.
Yeah.
So that's what they should have called a WoW Classic, but they've just balls WoW Classic up. So that's what they should have done with WoW and says, right, the community's going to drive the future rather than us. So time will tell. Let's hope. So I don't know what way they would do it with a WoW 2, but they could probably bring over WoW Classic even and just work from there, in my opinion.
There's a lot of potential anyway within the whole Activision Blizzard deal. Like there's a lot of potential to have for Xbox, like, and I think it's going to make a big change for them.
I don't know. I'm just done with kind of the Xbox console, maybe not the app and the PC side. I think it's great there. But
we'll get into it later about what we've been playing, but I've been playing it the past couple of days now, and I've been having a good time with it.
Yeah, I think it's because more mouse, like Valheim, they'll play it on console happily, but like shooters, not just like a mouse and keyboard. So we'll get into it anyway. Item 2, Last of Us 2 PS5 version, seemingly confirmed by the game's composer. Seems a long rumored, long expected The Last of Us Part 2 PS5 edition, a native PS5 edition or re-release, has just been confirmed or at least strongly hinted at by the series composer Gustavo Santaola. Right, that's not what it is. It's not a huge surprise, but perhaps the means by which the reveal has come about is a little off the beaten track. In an interview with the folks on the Blender podcast, Gustavo speaks about his cameo in The Last of Us Part 2 near the beginning of the game in Jackson, playing the banjo on a chair next to Buckley the dog, but goes on to say that in the new editions, you're going to be able to make me play certain tracks, and well, I can't tell you anything else. So I'm actually quite happy I held off on my playthrough because I would happily play it again, but I would like a wee bit of an update.
I'm excited for this. Like, I'll play it again.
So
and I only played it last year.
Obviously, Part 1 now looks better than Part 2 to a certain degree. So what do we expect? Just kind of same long-landed lines off.
I think if we're going to get the same game, it's just going to look better.
Okay.
I don't think there's anything wrong with that. There, the obviously 2's a lot, plays a lot. I would have liked to seen a bit more out of Part 1 kind of remake, but
you didn't try Part 1, have you?
A wee bit of it. I was kind of started it when we were watching the TV series, but then I just fell off it because I played it quite recently.
I said it was a regretful buy for me, didn't I?
I was 70 quid, yeah.
Fucking hell. Part 1, 1446, or Part 2, 1440-60. I don't. If it's gonna look like Part 1, it's probably just gonna be so much of a similar vibe. I don't know what really you're gonna get motion. Obviously, haptic feedbacks more, whatever it's called, DualSense. Probably gonna be along the lines of what the Ghost of Tsushima edition is, where it's very similar.
Yeah. I mean, I played it last year, Part 2, and like it was great. You could tell it wasn't a PS5 game, if you know what I mean. But like it was great. Otherwise, I'm excited for it, and it's probably true. Like, because most of these people, like the fucking actors and music people, they don't actually know about how to keep stuff secret.
Yeah.
And what they should and shouldn't be saying. Sure, like a fucking what do you call him? Norman Reedus. Like last year, the year before, saying about where do you see the second one? But talking about Death Stranding, and then it was only announced.
So this is where Xbox and Microsoft, as a consumer, I like them because they're going to charge us 60, 70 quid for us.
Yeah.
Now, if they don't give you a upgrade,
they won't. They won't.
They have to. They
won't.
Can't. That's ridiculous. Because it was only like what, 30 quid for the upgrade for the director's cut of Tsushima.
Yeah, I don't think they'll do it.
It depends how much of an upgrade we're getting here. If it's Part 1,
they'll make it sound like it's gonna be a huge upgrade, but it's not.
Right. So if this is seemingly, I'll give you. I won't actually go into this. What time? We'll put it this way. What time frame do you think we're getting this? This year?
No. I think we'll get it closer to season 2 of the show.
Really? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of tells you if it's going to be announced this year, there's most likely another show going to happen, another showcase. Because why wouldn't it be at this showcase?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I do think we're getting another showcase probably towards.
You do think, or you don't?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, the rumors are heavy. Like, I mean, we just don't know what's coming next year, and that's not really. We haven't really been in the situation where we don't know what PlayStation's got for the year ahead.
Yeah, it's AAA gaming. I've said to you, and I'm actually I'll bring it up. I'll bring it up later. But one of the things I'm going to talk about soon is AAA gaming in general and kind of what's happened to it with me personally. But there's a lot of kind of things with AAA gaming that's everything's kind of cinematic and good, but all too samey. But talking about AAA gaming, here's another item of news. So Black Panther game announced by EA. So Electronic Arts has announced that a Black Panther game is in the works. The title is being made by Cliffhanger Games, a new AAA studio based in Seattle, in collaboration with Marvel Games. So the upcoming title is billed as a single-player, story-driven, third-person action-adventure game. In a press release, Cliffhanger states that our mission is to build an expansive and reactive world that empowers players to experience what it is like to take on the mantle of Wakanda's protector, the Black Panther. Cliffhanger is led by Kevin Stevens, formerly of Monolith Productions, a studio currently making a Wonder Woman game. They also give you the Shadow Mordor titles. But he's worked on God of War, Halo Infinite, and Call of Duty, among others. Team is still being assembled and is actively hiring. As such, this entitled Black Panther project is in very early development, so it'll be a few years before it's in our hands. And Kevin basically said we're dedicated to delivering fans a definitive and authentic Black Panther experience, giving them more agency and control over the narrative than they've experienced in a story-driven game. Wakanda is a rich superhero sandbox, and our mission is to develop an epic world for players who love Black Panther and want to explore the world of Wakanda as much as we do. Do you know what's weird about this? So that one there, giving them more agency, what are you going to do? Like The Witcher kind of half tree in terms of what to say and so on? Bobby, excited?
No, I'm not buying this.
Why? Because he's black, you racist cunt?
No, I don't like Black Panther.
Oh, I was going to say I don't like black people. I was like, well, that's fucking...
No.
Why do you not like him?
I don't know, I just don't like him. I've no interest in watching the movies, anything like
Have
that.
you seen the first one?
No, I just wouldn't watch it. Doesn't appeal to me.
It's alright. No, it's alright. It's alright. I wouldn't watch the second one. I'm done
He's
with
not an
Marvel.
interesting character to me.
You haven't watched the movie?
No, I've seen him in the Avengers and stuff. Don't like him.
I would watch the first one. The first one's actually good. It has Michael B. Jordan, who's a legend. He plays Creed in the Creed films. He's great in it.
Yeah.
I don't really care about the rest. I haven't seen anything else. But I mean, Marvel's fucking dung these days anyway.
Oh, shite.
I even put fucking hell. It ended at Infinity War Part 2.
Same with I haven't watched Captain Marvel either. Just doesn't appeal to me.
Captain Marvel?
Yeah.
Oh, I watched that in cinema. There used to be a time where I'd watch all of them. And I was never even a big fan. I just watched them because it was like, well, popcorn flick, decent enough, and I'll just watch them. And
the only ones that I'll watch now, still, even though I'm not really interested, is Spider-Man, Thor, and Guardians.
Spider-Man and Batman. That's me, mate.
Oh, well, yeah, if we're going into the other ones, Flash and all, and Batman, so I'll watch that.
Give me your Batman impression.
No. I don't even like Batman. Do you know my first Batman film was...
Don't you fucking say Batman or Robin?
Dark Knight.
What?
That was my first ever proper Batman
Batman's
film.
The best superhero.
Do you know what? I didn't know at the time that's what the Batman was.
The Dark Knight?
I didn't know.
So you never even watched Batman Begins?
No, I've watched them all now. I maybe watched them when I was younger, but never really paid attention to them. But yeah, I went to the cinema to see The Dark Knight. I had no idea what I was going to see. I actually genuinely didn't even know it was a Batman film. It was just kind of last.
What was your impression?
Amazing.
Oh, I mean, that's
unreal. I went and watched Batman Begins before or after that there.
So that's a director. Fuck, Chris Nolan. Yeah. So he done Batman, then he went and done fucking Inception, and then he done Interstellar. Oppenheimer's out this week. He's done a few, Dunkirk and so on. I love him. I think he's a great director. But I seen Dark Knight in cinema, and I remember it was like that's a cinematic masterpiece. That so fucking good. Guy. And even I remember seeing Dark Knight Rises in cinema and being like meh, but then watched it like 4 years ago, and I was like, this fucking film's better than Dark Knight when I watched it. So, I think the problem was I couldn't understand Bane, so when I had subtitles on,
did you not? I dressed up as him actually.
I know, yeah. I've seen a picture. Okay. You didn't pull it off very well, to be honest.
No, I wasn't actually built or anything back then. So,
I might wind you up. But yeah, so like, see when I hear this, so you kind of know what you're getting already, don't you? I know it's sound to say, oh, we'll do a few things, but like over the shoulder, that kind of style of combat, which I actually enjoy. I love the Arkham games are fucking phenomenal, but that's the whole setting, mate. That dark, broody setting is fucking phenomenal as well. You've played those, haven't you?
Arkham games, yeah.
Yeah. What was your favorite Arkham game?
Probably Arkham Knight.
Arkham Knight was good. Too much tank.
Sorry. Arkham City, maybe.
So my original would have been City, but then I played them back to back. Apart from I didn't actually get through.
Weren't you?
Asylum was fantastic.
I knew you were going to say that.
Brilliant games. Metroidvania. Yeah. So
love them all. I do love them all.
Yeah, I love that combat style. Mate. Batman or Spider-Man does it well.
Yeah, really good.
Shadow Mordor. Look, I remember Shadow. Obviously, this guy before he's making this, he was involved with Shadow Mordor. I played that on 2014. It was getting 10 out of 10 on IGN. I was not going to get it, and it was the hype bought me into it. Now it came out 4 days early on PC, which was weird, and I was like, I don't get this game. Like, I don't know what I'm supposed to do. It was like, I was not a fan, and I've tried it recently, and I'm still not a fan. I think the world
I fucking
born
love it.
It's just so drab.
The Nemesis system is one of the best systems that's ever
Good system.
been implemented in a game, and it'll never be implemented again unless it's by them.
Yeah, but you know, I find, see, I'll look at a game and I'll not like the look of it, but still try it. But maybe I shouldn't do that because I looked at that and I knew it wasn't like that. That style of
It's
game
so good.
doesn't do it for me.
So good. Combat and all's great on it, and just the whole Nemesis system is just, it's mind blowing. Like, because you just kill a cunt and then he comes back and he's moved up the ranks and all, and then you can move them up the ranks and stuff like that. It's fucking insane. The whole wars and stuff like that. It's class.
And then you think, and then you all talk about it, and like maybe I didn't give it a go. And then what happens is I spend 4 hours on it, and then I play it, and I go, you know, I still don't like it. And this happens with everything, by the way. So no, I'm not going to play it.
Have you played it on PC?
Yeah, I'm both of them on PC. Shadow War as well. I think Shadow War got a wee bit. I was more likely to play.
It was my favorite. Like, it's phenomenal. It's easily a 4.5 out of 5 for me.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Nice. Sometimes you just need an entertaining game. So moving on.
It's long.
Moving on. What am I doing?
Move on. I'll let you move on.
This one I don't care about either, by the way, because I don't need it. Maybe I will. If I ever get in an accident, maybe I'll need it. But PlayStation's accessibility controller launches this December. Sony has revealed that the PS5's accessibility controller access will launch December 6th for $89.99, with pre-orders kicking off July 21st. Great price, by the way.
Yeah,
I think that's
cheaper
retarded.
than the Xbox one.
No, that's actually very good. Dependent, like the fact that fucking sometimes these people have to pay fucking if you do need these types of controllers, it's fucking arm and a leg. How much is the Xbox? 129.
I think it's 129 and around there, maybe 120.
Even that's good though, because do you ever see people who actually they have to use their face and all, and they have like wheelchairs and all on?
Just thinking about it now, is it good that disabled people have to pay more for a controller that actually will work for them?
The R&D to go into the controllers, you see, that's what they're trying to make a return on now.
Still, by the way, you know, yeah, you've got no hands. You need to pay double the price for a controller.
Probably going to be hard to get as well for them. So
some of them cons like that are playing with their mouth on Call of Duty are insane.
Yeah,
like absolutely insane. Like way better than us. Like way better.
I think Kieran plays with his mouth, doesn't he?
Kieran fucking plays with his controller fucking upside down.
Oh no, I can't say anything. I'll start slagging Exoprimal about how high his score is. And how low mine was, which we'll talk about in a second. But detailed in the PS blog, someone explained that the Access controller allows users to equip the 30 control profiles that include stick settings, toggle commands, and disabling buttons. That's a bit fucking. It's a bit rude, isn't it?
Disabling buttons. Disabling buttons entirely. That's the way you read it.
Disabling buttons entirely to prevent.
They're not actually buttons. Oh, here's your disabling button.
The Access controller comes with 4 expansion ports, 19 button caps, 3 stick caps, and 23 button cap tags. Players can also pair up the 2 Access controllers or 1 DualSense to customize their setups even further.
It's quite good.
PlayStation also shared an visual features trailer for the Access controller. That's good though. Like you have to think, if you had a child who did have a disability, like you feel fucking obviously really bad for them. I think all that stuff's great. And to be fair, this is what Sony does need props for. Their accessibility in their games these days are like fucking superb.
Yeah, it's kind of Naughty Dog that led the way with that, wasn't it?
Yeah, but it's God of War quite good as well.
Yeah, I think all the studios have kind of just taken up after Naughty Dog since they done it in with the Last of Us Part 2. Their stuff was really good. And that like being able to like it's like you say if you have a child that are using it and they've got like no arms and legs and they're just using their hand or their mouth or whatever, and you can
fucking hell, Bobby.
That's just
no arms and legs.
Worst case scenario.
Fucking hell. Worst case scenario.
Yeah. And
fucking hell. Have you ever seen a kid with no arms and no legs?
I seen something on fucking TikTok there the other day. Actually, it was fucking some trans thing though. It was weird.
Oh Jesus! So what? They deserve it? Have no arms and legs compared to for you then?
They're cutting their dick off too.
Well, actually, to put it this way, when I was in Portugal, there was a wee girl by the pool. They were from down south, by the sounds of their voice. But she had one leg, and she's about Alb's age. Fair play to the wee girl because she was jumping in the pool and swimming better than my 2 kids. And it's like you just kind of felt bad, but at the same time, like
I love that.
Fair play. People do make it. You know, people will make it work. Do you know what I mean?
I'd love to have one leg.
Why?
Because I wouldn't have to work.
Oh, for fuck's sake! Maybe a 1-leg delivery driver.
I'd have to work. Just run the day and have like a fucking Terminator leg.
Really, see if it didn't work, it would be depressing unless you had a ton of money. Like if you won the lottery and you were poor, that's fine. Or if you won the lottery and you had no job, that's great because I could make myself busy flat out. But Sometimes when you know that you need money, like if you're off sick and you're actually sick and you're off for a while, you're like, fuck the hell. I hurt my back and it was depressing.
I see. I've never been off sick in this job anyway.
What
Never
happens
took.
if you go sick? Who does takes your run, your delivery run?
The guy that owns it, he'll sort that out with somebody else. Like, but I've just never rang in sick. Like, I've got a bit of a cold or anything, I just still go in and just get it done.
Yeah, I'm not much for sickness. Kieran loves it. Kieran's never in
Oh,
work.
he fucking loves it. He loves holidays and stuff like that. He'll be away next
Ah,
week now because we've been playing Exoprimal. He's only
yeah,
back.
that's it. Guys, have to go.
Uh,
Yeah. Looking,
but
not
yeah.
a day working him. Anyway, so, Bobby, that's the news done. Very short this week.
Yep,
But
short and sweet.
you wanted to talk about it,
I do.
and I can talk about it with you. Talk about me about PC gaming then, Bobby.
I just want to talk about it in general. Like, well, obviously, this week, you've kind of been getting a wee bit horny over PC gaming. You're talking about
Yes.
upgrading your monitor and then, or upgrading your graphics card, and then it's kind of brought in this whole talk of monitors and things like that, and just to kind of constantly.
Why do you
wanting
listen to
or-
me?
What do you mean?
I'm not buying your graphics card. I literally told Kieran I'm going to wind you up at it.
Oh, well, if you did, I didn't believe a 4090.
No,
There's no chance of it. I did not believe a 4090. A 4080 I could get around, but a 4090,
no,
I
I
just
don't
couldn't
feel like
see
I
it.
need to upgrade. I don't
See,
feel not yet.
Thank fuck.
Unless
Thank fuck, because I don't want to buy one yet.
well, I don't feel like if there's a game I'm playing, I'm like, I cannot play this because I'm not getting enough frames. Then I would just do it. But I'm at the stage. I'm like, well, I don't really need to, so I'm not worried. But
So I'm at the
No.
minute. I'm looking at monitors because the one I have at the minute is 1440p, 144, which is fine, which is great. But I'm not using my graphics card to the full capabilities, so I'm kind of I'm thinking like, do I go 4K?
oh, you're capping your graphics card unless you play like ray tracing and all, and then obviously that'll be enough. But
yeah,
you know, if you're going to play Cyberpunk or
something
I
like
don't
the
know what
likes
your
of that
FPS will be.
fucking Exoprimal we'll get into after. Like, I was having issues with that, or I ended up being HDR, but I'm sitting at 144 on that, whereas I could probably be doing 4K 144.
Ultra wide, if I were you,
ultra
obviously, because I went and I upgraded from a 1080p 144 QLED to this one. Now I went in that ratings.com. I did research for this monitor, unless I wanted to go 240. It was kind of like the best lower range one, unless you're going OLED and stuff for the what I could get. It was like 400 quid. It's a good monitor, but it's even from going to the 1080 144 to this, it's kind of like I probably should have went ultra wide. So I think going ultra wide is going to make a massive difference. It's going to be a whole different experience than you would get playing on your PC, on your or on your TV.
Yeah.
Like it's going to be so much more immersive.
Not super ultra wide, but just ultra wide.
Yeah.
Because the one you sent into the group or the other day was Sea of Thieves on it
The
yesterday.
G9.
That was that's super ultra wide. Like that's
That'd be
insane.
nice.
But ultra wide, I think, would just be the sweet spot. You know, going 1440, 144 ultra wide, because you are going to be using more of your GPU because it is a bigger resolution. But I think it would be it'd be class, sexy. Like Sea of Thieves and all, Spider-Man. Most games take advantage of it. I was just kind of, when I bought this one, I was kind of hemming and hawing because there was an ultra wide there that I was going to buy. But I was like, if a game doesn't support it, I'm going to have them big bezels at the side. It's going to annoy me.
You would you'd be all right. I think you would
I would get around it, but it would just kind of bug
at the
me.
start it'll annoy you, but then you'll just kind of gradually.
But the likes of Red Dead and all that, can you imagine that on ultra wide?
Oh Jesus!
Like that would be insane.
So in terms of PC myself, it is just because it was playing point and click that it kind of went into PC, but then it was more about the experience I was getting on PC, where actually I was finding myself being able to get more immersed in the game. I think just sitting closer to the monitor. Like I had it with my Switch to talk about when I'm playing on handheld. I'm more in the game, whereas I'm sitting back and watching the TV. It's the type of games that I'm playing on console probably bore me as well, where a lot of them are just kind of very passive games. Or like I put on Far Cry and I'm thinking, you know what? I know exactly what this is. It's going to be go here, shoot a few people, and just drive about, do a few stupid missions. Whereas on PC, at least what I'm playing there is like I'm going to talk about it. Hell let loose. Yeah, there are experiences that you wouldn't get the same experience on a console. Whereas it's a bit more maybe serious multiplayer and stuff, which is kind of what I'm after at the moment. But I don't know, I'm just in a different mood. But like I said, I go in phases, so I'm sure there'll be a mood when I go and play my fucking PlayStation again and get into FIFA. But it's just the type of games I'm into at the moment. I'm just a bit in a weird rut off them, to be honest. But what's your thoughts on the whole PC gaming then at the moment?
I don't know. I'm just kind of back and forth on it when I'm playing it. Like I enjoy it and stuff. But it's just there is a lot of hassle. Like yesterday with that Exoprimal. Like my GPU was only using 50%, and we were like, what the fuck's going on? Trying to figure out why it's doing that there. I tried everything, reinstalled drivers, and still nothing worked. So I was like, fuck it, I'll take off HDR. I probably won't do anything, but I'll just turn it off and see. I turned it off. The GPU shot up to 90%, and it went straight away to a locked 144. And you're
If
just
I
like,
was
what the
you,
fuck?
you're in a different predicament than me, I'd say, because the types of games that you're playing, like for example, if you're playing, well, and even myself, like Call of Duty on console or consoles like 120, it looks good, it runs great.
Mm-hmm.
On PC, it might get a bit more frames, but to be fair, it doesn't even. You have to do some amount of tinkering with it, and it's better with a controller anyway. So I usually play keyboard and mouse. So it actually makes sense for me if I'm going to play it with a controller, which I usually do with Call of Duty, to play it on my TV.
Yeah.
But because you are mainly a gamepad player, console makes more sense if you're getting the same resolution and frame rate. But even like I say, if you were getting 120 on CFEs, but you're able to get 144 on CFEs on your PC, it would still make more sense to me for you to play it on your TV
Oh
because you're
no,
still getting a good experience and you're sitting back.
but it's completely different though. See when you,
Really?
oh yeah, so on the Series X, if you go into the 120 mode, it drops the resolution down to 1080p and maybe low graphics.
Right. Okay. Cursing, that's called.
Whereas yeah, so it's not because it's not great. Like, but I stuck the computer on the TV and I was getting 4K 120 locked at ultra,
Right.
whatever it is, and it's mind blowing. Like, 'cause the water in that game's just phenomenal.
Depends if you're playing on the TV and stuff. I think you need to learn mouse and keyboard, boy.
I know
Go up
you
to
do.
the big leagues.
You keep saying that.
What's the worry about it?
It's just the keyboard. I just can't get my head around it.
It's literally just
The
learning. If you
mouse is
use the
grand.
keyboard for that's all.
Like
People say the mouse is the hardest.
my aiming and all is generally good. So the mouse is just obviously it's finding your sweet spot and sensitivity in certain games. But it's just the fucking. See, do you use your A and D when you're moving?
Yes.
Because I find that it just doesn't flow as naturally for me when I'm on a keyboard and mouse, whereas when I'm on a
My
controller.
A and D is my ring finger and my index.
Aye.
My only fingers that really move when I'm playing is my pinky and my thumb. Or no, my pinky, and I might move to hit number 1 or scroll. Like you should even have to move your hand when you're playing, which is it is generally just
It's
getting
just
used to it.
difficult. Yeah.
But
I
it's
know I've
just
sat
getting.
down and done it, but I would get used to it, but it's just not enjoyable.
But I would say if you took most people who went from controller to keyboard and mouse, and after a while asked them which they prefer, I don't know. Like if I was betting man, I would reckon most would have said keyboard and mouse. That's what they prefer. Now, if it's Call of Duty, no, it's keyboard and mouse. But that's just because Call of Duty gives you so much advantage with controller. Sorry,
Mm-hmm.
controller. Like even myself was like, well, I would have to play it with controller. I would say because it's so unless you're doing like aiming in big maps and stuff, it does help. But up close, you're fucked if you're against someone on a controller. Whereas Battlefield and stuff is terrible, I think, on a controller because their maps are so big.
Yeah.
So it's kind of here and there. But like Counter Strike, if you try to play Counter Strike and you had a controller and someone had a keyboard and mouse, I doubt you would ever get out of bronze. It'd be fucking hard as hell. I'm not saying you, I'm saying the collective you, like anyone, even. It's just a different type of game. It's so much micro movements that you need. Whereas, I don't know, if you had no aim assist, it'd be too hard. You should get it a go. Like,
I have give it a go. I've given it a go on Valorant and all those times.
and what was your thoughts on Fallen? Do you
It's
like
just,
it?
I would. There's just too many abilities. I don't know what they are.
What? You've like one guy and he had 2 abilities and you can
Yeah,
only
he's
use
got like
them.
3 abilities, and I don't even know what the fuck they do.
It's one of smokes, the one you were using.
Yeah, because I was using some guy with a beard. I don't even fucking know.
Yeah, one's a smokes, so you're supposed to use that for
So like, I
macro.
just didn't use them at all.
Don't have to use them.
I just
Well, you do. You
played.
should use them.
I
Yeah.
should use them because I know like I should be using them.
Counter
So for a
Strike's probably
reason.
better for you because there's no abilities, and Counter Strike 2 is coming out soon.
When is that coming out? Because that was meant to be.
It's supposed to be
Was it not
summer.
meant to be like some early access thing? It's out now or something like that for certain people.
Yeah.
You could put your name down for or something.
So kind of going into what we've been playing, we may as well segue in while we're talking anyway. But yeah, so I was playing more point and click. I played Gabriel Knight 2. I lost my save, so I ended up continuing on my PC. I was playing on Lindsay's laptop. And then I was also playing Gabriel Knight 1, the original. And her laptop crashed. And it put me way back because I didn't save. So then I was like, you know what, I'm going to play the remake instead. And I started that. But I mean, I've been playing fucking bits of everything. there's one game I want to talk about on the podcast. If anyone likes Vampire Survivors, okay, there's a game on. It's only on PC at the moment. It's called Halls of Torment. Now, funny enough, I actually found this because Steam was doing like a recommendation. And what I really like about Steam is there's a review system, and the reviews are you can only review a game, I believe, if you have purchased it, but it also tells you your playtime on it. So you always hear Colin talking about this on Secret Symbols about he wishes how people on Metacritic could review a game, but Metacritic verifies that they played it.
Yeah.
So this Halls of Torment was like overwhelmingly positive, which is the highest you can get. It's a 10 out of 10. And I was reading reviews on it, and people were having it, so played it. So it's basically like Vampire Survivors, but in Diablo 1 graphical style. But the way the combat is you can have word auto attacks like Vampire Survivors, or you can have a click to attack. But then you can control which direction you want to go. So you have up, down, left, right, but your aim as well. So Vampire Survivors, it is kind of front of you and behind you, isn't it? And then your abilities give you the kind of 360 abilities and stuff.
Yeah, your abilities will give you all that stuff.
Yeah, so this is much more, I would say it's much more engaging in what you're actually doing rather than having a lot of auto attacking and stuff. But oh, it's fuck me, it's great. It is actually fantastic. It's got that Vampire Survivors satisfaction with the load of enemies on the screen, but it looks a lot better, and it's just Diablo style. So it's fantastic. So if anyone's wanting to play something similar and they're kind of already played Vampire Survivors, like Tim, give it a go. I put it on for 5 minutes and ended up playing it for like half an hour burst.
It's one of them
3 times yesterday.
I was like Vampire Survivors for me.
Yeah, and then Asmongold, the guy I watched plays it, loved it. Playing that, and then the other one I'll talk before Exoprimal is actually 2. Actually, I'll not even touch. I'll maybe touch on one of them next week when I play it more. But Hell Let Loose, it's one I want you to play, Bobby. But I don't know how you would get on. Do you know what it was? I was playing Valorant, and I noticed I was really old. So I told you like I was getting laughed at because of my I got laughed at by a 26-year-old because of how old I am. I'm 30. I was 30 at the time. Me and Chris. I was like, what? But even though I went on Valorant last night, mate, and they're all young, and I kind of been at the stage. It's like, right, I can't hang about in kiddish lobbies anymore. It feels weird. Do you know what I mean?
Oh dear.
Like they're kids telling you what to do, mate, and you're like, I'm getting old for this. So I went on to Hell Let Loose with Shane, and it's Battlefield-esque. So you have a whole map, and you can kind of say where you're going to drop. Now the way it works is you have different squads. So you have one commander who oversees the whole team, and it's 50-50 World War II simulation almost. But you join a group. So say me and you were playing, me, you, and Kieran, and whatever. We would be in a group of 5 or 6.
Mm-hmm.
And one of us would be a leader, and that leader, what you could do is you can spawn beacons where you can spawn the team. So like Battlefield, you can spawn on your friends, but only when you have beacons. So basically you place one of the leader places beacons, but the leader would converse with the commander who's overseeing 6 teams, and you're actually working together. But it's very realistic. Like you can't just run out or you're gonna get fucking ruined. But in terms of realism and shit, mate, like there's fucking bombs going off all around you. There's suppression fire, so if it literally like fatigues the screen when you're playing, and it's just it actually reminds me of Call of Duty 2 a lot. It has a lot of same areas, Carentan, St. Mary Glace, but it's like Band of Brothers. It's incredible, and I know it's very, very realistic and it's kind of hardcore. But 50-year-olds were playing it, and there was someone who was definitely older, so I was kind of like, I'm here now.
You're with
This
them.
is me.
You're with your own now.
Yeah, I'm not going to say I'm going to play it forever, but even when like Shane Null's not on, he was one playing with me. I noticed I've been wanting to hop on and play it myself, which is always a good sign.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so that's kind of what I'm doing. Have you any interest in playing it?
I would try it. I would probably get it on Steam and then try it, and then if I don't like it, just refund it. So I think there's like a 2-hour policy on that, isn't there?
Yeah, I don't know if you would like it, is the truth of it.
Give it a go.
Because it's slow paced.
Yeah, that's why I didn't really like Battlefield.
Really?
Yeah, it was too slow. I would try the 2042 one, the newer one, but it was always
it's slower than Battlefield.
Slower pace for me.
It's slower than Battlefield.
Yeah.
Like you have to play it like I was with a group last night and they were fucking about 90. And they were talking on it, but they were like go this side, you go there, and they were kind of like you have to kind of work as a team kind of thing.
Yeah.
Which is cool. I think it's cool. Like if there's people who like I've seen online, there's people who were playing a game like called Squad that I bought yesterday, which is very similar, but it's like Afghanistan war. And there's like people who were in the army play that, and like they did that with armor and things, where it's just a bit more realistic and it's a lot more tense. You know what I mean? But it's fun. And that's what I mean. You don't get that kind of style on PlayStation things. Now, it is on PlayStation, but I put it on PlayStation, and I was like, no, this isn't the type of game.
And what didn't you enjoy about it on PlayStation? Was it just the controller, or
It's the way it is. It's less well, obviously the controller I don't really mind, but the people that are playing it aren't on PlayStation playing it. If that makes sense. Like, you're playing Arma on PlayStation, it's not going to be the same. It's because PC is a very hardcore community, so a lot of the older people and things, they'll all have mic'd up, they'll all have their mics and things, they'll all either, using that. It's just, that's what you'll find with PC, is just the type of people that play it are going to be a bit more mature.
into it? Yeah.
Yeah, and into it, whereas with console, it's just, maybe I'm wrong, but there's no cross servers or anything like that. So I would need to try it in console, but I know Kieran put it on and he died right away. It's like, no, this isn't what I wanted.
Kieran dies right away on most games.
Yeah, but talking about most games, enlighten us with Exoprimal.
Yeah. Fucking, I'm absolutely loving it. It's on two nights now. I've been on it flat out. Really. Well, what way do you want to start it? What do you want to start with? Combat.
Describe what Exoprimal is.
Oh,
If anyone's listening.
yeah, I'll describe what it is. So it's basically like, think Overwatch.
Yeah.
So it's team based.
Watch with dinosaurs.
With dinosaurs, there's two teams on it. There's PvE and there's PvP. So in both modes, pretty much, you're doing these zones. Do you want to call them zones? These sections. You're racing to like a point, and then you have to kill a certain amount of different types of dinosaurs, or you have to defend something, and things like that there. And you're just going point from point. And as you're going, if you complete that there, it'll tell you your enemy team's ahead of you or the enemy team's behind you, and you'll see their kind of shadow. If they're ahead of you or behind you, as soon as you complete that objective, you'll see their outline of what they're doing, whether they're still doing it or whether they've moved on to the next one.
Kind of thing. You see their red outline.
So you'll kind of see the red outline. So you can always kind of. There's also at the top, there's like a wee indicator of like the wee points of where they are, if they're ahead of you or they're the same place or behind or whatever. And you kind of have to race to the end, and then there's like a final kind of objective to do. If it's PvP, it's usually that one in Overwatch. It would be the
payload.
Where you have to move it, and you have to move it to 100%. Once you get it into that section, the other enemy team is pretty much right in front of you as well. Then it has to load up 100%, so you're constantly in the PvP bit. You're fighting each other, you can destroy it somewhat, can't you, or kind of stop it?
Yeah, you can shoot each other's box.
You can shoot each other's
box. What's in the box, by the way? I'm like that fucking. Yeah, I think it.
The PvP I don't enjoy.
It's a bit.
I don't think it's good combat on PvP, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it's a bit ropey on the PvP. I think obviously Overwatch does that better. So the probably best way of thinking about it, it's like horde mode objectives. So you go here and then there's a horde rush and you're defending the horde and you're in a race against the clock to then go into obviously the payload race if it goes to PvP. And I'm going to use the big word so Kieran can think this is a big word, but I don't really think it is. You can tell me if you think it. Culmination.
This is one of the big words that make you sound smart, even though you're thick as fuck.
So culmination, would you think that's a big word?
Yeah.
What? So it's a culmination of Overwatch meets a horde mode game, essentially.
Yeah, pretty much.
Although the PvP at the end is quite short and it's a bit rough.
I just don't like it. I think it's not made for PvP. It's made with PvE in mind. I think the actual combat against the dinosaurs and all is great, but I think when it comes to against each other, it's a wee bit ropey.
Feels like Vanquish, as in the movement. Needs a slide.
Needs a slide.
Jump. The guy I was playing last night was very fun. You have the tank and such. So this is. Do you know what? Maybe we're actually being too upbeat on the game when you think about the problems here, because you're given the likes of a tank, you're given the likes of support and stuff, which is fair enough. But at the same time, the tank is very much PvP centric rather than PvE. Isn't it? When you think of it, like, you're not really going to need a tank for the PvE sections unless it gets very hard. But
it does as you go on. So that's something I actually found out last night. Each 10 levels you progress unlocks new dinosaurs and new modes. Okay,
so then it's too early to judge him.
So yeah, we're still a wee bit too early to judge on that, but it does get a lot harder. Like I was on last night with Kieran, we stayed on for a couple. He ended up losing connection, and there was this point at the end where it was like a big skyscraper, and you think you may have seen it in the trailers, but like it drops. It was like 1,200 of the raptors, and you just see them falling down the skyscraper.
Oh, that's cool.
and it was class. And that's one thing I'll touch on now as well. Is the performance on Xbox is phenomenal. It's solid 60, and even at that
Mhm.
when there was like fucking 1,000 dropping, it didn't drop a frame.
That's why I like just shooting. It's mindless fun in that
It
sense,
is. It's
isn't it?
good.
Like,
It's good fun. It might be the first game to get its hook on me, like kind of multiplayer-ish since Rainbow Six Extraction. Because
I would be
that really
interested.
got its hooks in me in the terms of like wanting to unlock everything and upgrade everything.
Try Halls of Torment for that whole tons of enemies and you're just fighting in them. I love that. I love that in games, mate. That's obviously what I liked about Diablo as well. You know, when you're fucking just wrecking a ton of things and just seeing the numbers
Yeah.
does something to me. Whereas when you have the few stragglers, it's always terrible, isn't it? When you have like one here and one randomly. Just give me a fucking bunch and knock them all down. So you're quite optimistic on it.
Yes.
What would you like to see from it going forward? What do you think's missing?
I like to see a dedicated horde mode.
Mm-hmm.
A slide. I really want a slide. Like I said that the first night when you weren't on. Then we were on yesterday. It was like a slide. Like we need a slide.
Mm-hmm.
What else? I don't know. I would like to be able to. I know that's kind of. I suppose it's character based. I'm gonna say change my weapons and stuff, but it's all character based, really. So you can have the good deal with what you're given. Because the third guy that I'm being now, which you didn't like, was kind of the slow grenader. I actually still prefer the first one, but I'm getting more points for the third one. And
this is what we should talk about. Yeah, the points is annoying. Because I don't know, like,
it's really annoying.
What I don't know. I need to probably watch into it. I'd actually have no clue what way it works because if you're healing, you're just going to get tons of points. So is it ability based or
if it's ability based, then what does the assault? What does the assault meant to do? Because I'm sitting there killing fucking all sorts, and the points aren't going up.
I have no idea.
Now last night, there was a couple of times I got over 100k points as the assault, but I don't know. I didn't do anything that I don't normally do.
So in score or see with scores, this is my problem used to be with Overwatch. Do you know when you used to kill someone? And the way the score worked, it was quite weird. I don't know if it counted kills as well. It was quite weird. Like you shared kills.
Count kills. That's one thing I would like to see kills, like a kill counter as well.
Oh, 100% of them killing agents and stuff. Hell Let Loose does that as well. It doesn't actually tell you if you killed someone. It's annoying.
Yeah, it's annoying.
But you can hear
for it to come up. Oh, fucking! I killed 1,000 dinosaurs, or whatever, 1,000 raptors, 2 fucking pachycephalosaurus, and all that other shit.
I like the competitive aspect. Like I want to be like sitting saying, "I done more than you, Bobby. You're shit."
Yeah. Oh, no, that's what I want to. That's what, because I'm sitting having to fucking listen to Kieran being the medic, getting more points than everybody every single game.
No, it says it needs fixed because it's just.
There needs to be kind of clarity of what you need to do, because there's not, like, it doesn't even tell you, by the way, every 10 levels you're going to get new dinosaurs and stuff. It tells you absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
And I would like
although
just
we
a
haven't
wee bit
skipped
more.
the story.
But the stories.
Not the story. I'm not watching the sport.
I'm not really into the story. I'm just into the gameplay of it all. It was like there was a story in Rainbow Six Extraction, somewhat. I wasn't really into it. I was just into the gameplay and into the loop and wanting to do better and get having the top score. I want the top score every game I play.
Yeah, and it's annoying because it's like, well, how's it work? So maybe they'll come out and say, I don't know, but
I'd say maybe I would say actually by the end of the week we'll probably know a lot more, because there's going to be a lot of YouTubers on it and kind of dissecting it and seeing what's what and how to actually score big with certain classes.
Yeah, so that'll wrap up. Obviously, Exoprimal will have more thoughts next week and we'll play a bit more. Do you know what we should play? And the fact that obviously we have more people playing with us now, I'm liking competitive shooters as well, and I'm like, we did like Call of Duty Warzone. I wouldn't mind getting that on my PC again, giving that a blast, and having everyone on. I don't know what your thoughts are, but I liked Warzone when we did play it.
I didn't mind it. I prefer multiplayer, like, personally, but...
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
I like Warzone. Don't mind both, like, but...
I just think I get more out of multiplayer. I like...
Quick matches, quick
burst. Quick matches, fast-paced, getting the top of the leaderboard. That's what I like.
So how are you getting on with Final Fantasy 16, Bobbert?
Final Fantasy 16. It is the most, like... What's the word I'm looking for? Inconsistent AAA game I've ever played in my life.
In what way? Explain. Where are you on it?
So I'm near the Titan bit. Haven't done it yet.
Have you went
Titan
a jump
fight.
fast forward in time to a
Mm,
deserted area?
no.
Is the party still alive?
Yes.
Okay.
No. Someone's dead. I think people keep calling me the guy.
All right. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm
Yeah.
I'm on my way to the port, which Karen says the next big fight is the Titan.
Oh fuck me! Thank God I'm not playing this game.
So it's just so inconsistent because like there's. Do you know what I would actually? Do you know see when the game's linear?
Yeah.
Like when you're on the Saxons, when you're actually kind of like that last boss fight was that guy that's he's like half a torso. The
Yeah.
whole section up to that there is great. It was on with the crystals and stuff like underground you're going through.
Yeah.
It's just the frame rate's good. It's well made. It looks the actual world around it looks class. Like all that there stuff is perfect to me. But it's when you get into the open world kind of unnecessary filler quest shit that I don't
Mm-hmm.
like. The actual going from area to area, it doesn't need to be there. Just give me the full on linear story. I don't want the open world stuff because when it does the open world stuff, the frames drop, the story drops, the characters, like everything just drops in quality to me.
Yeah, man.
It's
I'm
just like
fucking up
1
on
minute
it.
you're like in this class leading up to the boss fight. Boss fight's great. You're having fucking great time. Cutscene's amazing, and then you're back to this just shitty double A kind of game.
Are you gonna play it or what here? Because
I was playing it. I was playing it
you're
this
literally.
week.
I'm past where you were, and I stopped playing it 2 days after I came home.
It's just that's what I say. It's like when I'm playing it, I'm alright. I'm having a good time. But when I'm not playing it, I'm not wanting to play it. So it's just kind of
Yeah.
like
Are you gonna finish it or what?
I will finish it. I'm going to finish it. I will. Honestly, I'm going to finish it. I'm
See,
going to
this
do
is
it.
working.
I'm like
It's like
halfway near enough according to the PlayStation.
there's Kieran sending a picture going nearly done, or like he goes nearly there, and it's like, why are we playing games in the full thought of it's nearly there?
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean? Like that's clearly a bad problem to have.
yeah. But
Why?
we've done that all year. Like all of us, we've always been looking at the quest. Like, oh fuck, how much do I have left?
I know this is, but then what? Maybe we just don't enjoy the game. Like what we shouldn't be doing that with games. That's my point. Like you don't watch a fucking great TV show and go nearly there, episode 10's there. Do
No,
you know
you
what I
don't
mean?
want to. You're near enough. When you're watching a TV show, you're scared to see how much is left because you're enjoying it so much.
Yeah, it's like fuck, I'm near finished. That you know, that's what I mean. This is the problem. Like, why are we playing these big AAA games and all we're wanting them to do is end, and they're costing us 70 quid,
Yeah.
and we're counting down and going fucking 4 hours left. It's like that's not a good sign,
But
and
like,
we're still
it's
reading
weird.
really heavily.
It's weird because there's games that I really enjoy, but I'm still checking to see how long I have left.
Then
And
you don't obviously enjoy it as like as much as
I
you
mean, like,
should.
I don't know, the extra Razzie games and all. I was checking to see where I was at and how much I had left. But I was really enjoying. Like, I absolutely love Resident Evil 4, and it was one of my favorite games this year. But I was still checking to see where I was and how much I had left. I don't know. It's just kind of a thing we've become accustomed to this year,
But it's
or in
just
general.
it's a weird concept.
It is weird.
Like
It is weird because you don't do it with anything else. You don't do it with TV shows or movies or anything. Oh fuck, there's how long's
I'll
left
do
of this?
it
Unless it's shit.
in the cinema and I'm watching a bad movie. I'm like fucking hurry this up. But like
Yeah.
if you're in a good, if you're really kind of watching something, you're really enjoying it. Like that should be an indicator. You know, when I played The Witcher, mate, I remember I was like, I wasn't thinking when's it over. I just kept playing it and doing shit, and I wasn't even looking at how many quests are left or anything like that. And that's what I was finding when I was playing Red Dead. And
Mhm.
that's how you know you're playing something that is right for you. But we shouldn't
I
be playing
don't
a game.
think I don't think I done it with God of War.
I did. I did it with God of War.
Yeah, I don't think I did.
I never used to do it with Final Fantasy and all those old games. Like back in the day with Fantasy 7, it was never how long's left. And that's what I mean. It's like
I didn't do
we are
it
playing.
with Dead Island either.
When you play a game,
But it tells you.
you should be enjoying enough not to be thinking when's it done. Like
Mm-hmm.
that's my theory. That's kind of you know, it's strange when you think of it like this. Like there's Zelda, and you're sitting going, "Fuck, how long's left?"
That was rough though. Zelda was rough.
You should enjoy the journey, but we seem not to be. You know, I couldn't. I think I've done it with every game this year, even the ones I've rated
Mm-hmm.
highly.
Zelda
And
was
that's
just I don't know. It was rough. I'm surprised I beat it, and I'm kind of glad I did just to say that I done it but it was bad.
I think this is AAA gaming these days. Though this is the way it is now. That people we think that we like the games probably more than we do. In a way,
Mm.
Maybe it's just my head where it's thinking. I know you really liked Resident Evil 4. And maybe, I don't know,
I did. I
obviously you
loved it.
don't know why you were looking at the time. Like, well, I'm saying I don't know why, but even I did it and I liked it. But it's weird when you think about that. Don't do it with anything else if you really like it. You know,
Yeah, because like if you're watching, like you said, if you're watching a movie, say you stick on a movie in the house and it's absolutely shit, you'll just turn it off. You're not going to actually say how long's left here. How much I have left to fucking endure this. You just turn it off.
I did
So
that
it's,
last night. I was watching. So Friday night, when I said me and Lindsay were going to spend time together, she ended up ditching me, but coming back in. I sat downstairs, and I'll tell you exactly what I done. I put on. I started this American documentary about American football. Turned it off. I put on some other English show. Turned it off. Watched half an hour of the Disney musical Hamilton, which was really well rated. Turned it off. Put an hour of Bloodsport on. Turned it off. And it's like, why don't we do that with games? Like, we'll just try and force our way. Like, I'm playing this, but I'm not enjoying it, but I'll play
but
it.
then we're paying, like you said, £70 for games. You
But
know, and
a lot of the games
you can't just get a
that
refund on it.
but this is my thing. I think games, when I play in a lot of ones at the moment, they're older games.
Mm-hmm.
I'm enjoying them more.
See,
Actually, like, yeah, enjoying them more.
for me, I'm really enjoying games like Exoprimal and Dead by Daylight and Dead Island 2 there. Just playing co-op. I just enjoy that more, I think, in general.
That's fine. Yeah, if you're enjoying it, like,
Like, the most enjoyment, I think, this year is probably the likes of the Dead Island and stuff and the co-op stuff I'm playing. It's the most actual, like, pure just enjoyment and fun and having a good time.
Oh, before we go, what I want to mention, right? So this is on Game Pass, and I've tried it on console, but then tried it on PC. It was at Metal Hellsinger. Okay, now I
Oh,
like
yeah.
rhythm games. Think of Doom, but you have to shoot on the beat to do damage. Like, damage, it does more damage. Put it on for 5 minutes, mate. Done like with fucking 2 hours worth, and I was like, no, that shows you a game. Like, that's what a game should be, just fun to play. Try that and see after this. If you're standing on your PC, Bobby, try that game I mentioned. The I'll actually bring it up here. The Vampire Survivors, Halls of Torment. Try it, and trust me, that's more fun than 90% of the AAA games that I played this year.
Be nice to
And
have a
that's
Steam Deck, wouldn't it?
we Asus ROG, Ali.
Mm-hmm. Do you know what? I never even looked for that yesterday when I went in because I knew it would bad if I did. I just didn't.
Did you?
I didn't go anywhere near. I just looked for monitors and couldn't find fuck all. There was like 3 1080p ones.
But
So, but I'm gonna do. I think I might order one of them ultra wide here after we get the show done because I'm doing a wee Christmas order. Get
so
that
I
in early.
find with AAA, I'm waiting on the story to hook me rather than the game.
So, Halls of Torment $4.29. What's Halls of Torment Prelude?
Don't know. Don't worry about it.
Because that's
Skip
free.
it all. That's probably just a story. Just get it. Don't even worry. Just play it and thank me. Better than Vampire Survivors, in my opinion. And you can play it and disagree with me next week if you feel the way.
Does it
But
have controller support?
full controller support, yes. Yeah.
I shall have a
Phenomenal.
look.
Phenomenal. If you trust me.
No, I know I like it. Like I'm just looking at it now. Like it's Vampire Survivors pretty much.
It's better than Vampire Survivors. Put your headphones on, play it, put
Do
the
you know there's
controller on.
another one?
Yes, Brotato.
No, Army of Ruin. I wonder if that's on Steam. It's on PlayStation as well.
Army of Ruin. See what she is.
Yeah, $6.69.
Very positive. So it's got 1,000 reviews. Very positive. That has 5.5, nearly 7. No, that has 8,000 reviews. Overwhelmingly positive.
But look at that there. It's a lot more graphically entertaining.
What? Army of
Ruin? Yeah, if you look at that on Steam. You got your Steam up. It's more 3D.
Let me see it. I know what you mean. Yeah, a bit more cartoony though. Just try it.
Yeah.
Tell me what you think. We'll talk about it next week. But other than that, Bobby, I am going to go to get my suit fitted. So we'll have to be doing a podcast late next week. Hopefully, we'll have some news from it. Do the outro then, Bobby. Keep us covered.
Yeah, like, subscribe, hit that bell. That's actually something I haven't said. Is hit the bell on YouTube, and then you'll see whenever
Bobby's bell end.
and you'll see whenever the stuff comes up. Email us at readyuppod@gmail.com or any questions, or if you don't agree with us or agree with us and all that other good stuff.
Or if you think Bobby should take his Viagra, be a man. You spend £10 on these things, Bobby. You can't let it go to waste with a little worry that you might need an injection in your belly end.
Yeah, pretty much.
Shorter episode these weeks. Obviously, it's summertime. It's quiet. There's not too much to cover.
Quiet.
Bobby hopefully has some more to play next week that we can cover. Fucking hell. Maybe hell let loose.
Exoprimal.
Spend 25 quid. Other than that, goodbye.
Goodbye.